Thanks for taking a few minutes to watch this video from virtualroof.com, where we provide cloud computing services that allow your employees to work from anywhere and still be under one virtual roof. We do this by hosting over 300 software applications and their associated data. All of those applications and data can be accessed and used from any of the devices you see on this screen. If you'd like more information about us, you can go to our website. You could also do a search for virtualroof.com on YouTube. You can send us an email at info@virtualroof.com, or you can call us at 866-932-2281. Okay, in today's video, I wanted to show you how you can use SwiftPage survey forms to feed your ACT database. And the idea for this video actually came from a LinkedIn post that Robin here put up asking that very question, and he actually specifically mentions Sage or SwiftPage, Sage eMarketing or SwiftPage email. And we've been using SwiftPage for years, and we absolutely love this feature about SwiftPage. In fact, I think it's my favorite part of all. And I did respond to him here, but I thought, hey, let's shoot a video about this. So that's what we're doing today. So in order to show you all this, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to our website, virtualroof.com. And right here on our homepage, you can see this Launch Live Demo. If you click on that, you get this form that pops up. Looks like pretty much any form you'd see on a website. And it's got company name, first name, last name, email, and phone number. And if you notice up here in the URL, it says swiftpage.com. So most folks don't even look up there. This looks like it's just part of our website, but it's really a web form on SwiftPage that someone's going to fill out. So I'm going to fill this out real quick. Okay, and when someone hits the submit button, which is what I'm about to do, we get 4 or 5 things that can happen. Number one, they're going to go to a landing page that thanks them for filling out the form, and so there's that landing page. The second thing that's going to happen is an email is going to instantly go out to them that gives them instructions for going to our demo server. And the third thing that's going to happen is their contact information is going to go into a holding area that can be brought into the ACT database with just a couple of clicks. The fourth thing that's going to happen is they're going to get put into a drip marketing campaign so that they'll get another email tomorrow and another email in a couple of days. And so that's all set up through SwiftPage as well. And that's all part of the same package. So I'm going to show you some of that. Oh, the fifth thing that's going to happen is an email is going to go out to our sales department so that they can follow up with this person and call them and see if they were able to get logged into the demo and see if they had any questions. So in order to show you some of that, I'm going to go to our virtual desktop. Again, we're in the business of hosting ACT. The screen that you see on here right now is actually coming from Bellingham, Washington. I'm physically sitting in Orlando, Florida. I'm going to go switch to my desktop real quick. This is our virtual desktop or our hosted desktop. All the software that you see on the screen right now is actually not installed on my local machine. None of it's installed. I run everything remotely. That way I can log in from anywhere I want. From here in Orlando, if I'm on a trip to Atlanta, Georgia, I can log in there. If I go to the old farm in Alabama, I can log in there. As a matter of fact, there's a video on YouTube showing me logging in from an iPad in very rural area of Alabama where I grew up on a farm there. So you should probably go check that out. At any rate, all of our data is up here as well. If I open up my computer here, go to Explore, HKST, those are server drives. C on Virtual Roof, my local computer is named Virtual Roof. That's my local drive, so I can move data back and forth from my local drive to the server anytime I want. So kind of digress there a little bit, but I just wanted to show you how the remote system works. And so now if I go back to ACT, actually I'm going to go to my inbox real quick and I'm going to show you, here's those instructions that came for logging into the demo, okay, because I put my own email address in there. Normally if somebody fills out our form, they're going to put their email address, so they're going to get these instructions. All right, let's go back to ACT for just a moment. If I go to Write and I go to Sage eMarketing, by the way, this is the desktop version of ACT. This is not ACT for web. Even though it's hosted and even though I'm accessing it remotely, we're hosting desktops. So I'm able to host desktop software. And that's the difference between us and all the other hosters, or almost all the other hosters out there, is we actually host the desktop versions of the software. Everybody else is doing Act for Web, and you cannot use SwiftPage or Sage eMarketing if you're hosting Act for Web. So that's a huge difference between our service and between some of our competitors, or almost all of our competitors out there. So I'm going to go to Survey Web Forms, and we actually help our customers with this type of stuff. We provide them this level of support, and it's part of our normal package. You can see that we've got a ton of surveys in here. Some of these surveys were just temporary surveys, like we did an iPad drawing there, and those surveys are not really in use anymore, although we could activate them again anytime we want. I'm going to go down now to the one form that we were on just a few minutes ago, VR demo form. And you can see that we've had 109 total responses, and there's one unapplied, which is going to be the one that I just did. So all I've got to do now is click on Add Contact to Act. I click on Yes. And it's basically that question that popped up was saying, hey, this guy's already in the database. Do you want to update his record? So I clicked on Yes, and it's giving me the option here to select fields that I want to have updated. And I can choose which fields I want to update, and then I can click on Update Selected Fields Only. I'm going to ignore this because this is my own record, but you can see there's the telephone number we put in there and everything else. So I'm going to click on Ignore and click on OK. All right, the next thing I'm going to show you is how easy it is to edit these surveys. So I clicked on Edit Survey, and I'm in here now. If I click on Edit here, oops, that's an old survey. Hang on just a moment. Let me go back and change to a different survey. I actually had that survey selected in the previous screen. This survey selected in the previous screen. So now I've got to change to the one I really want to look at. This is the one we just filled out. Okay. And so now I can go in and click on Survey Design, and I can edit this survey. I can edit the questions that are in here. I can add additional questions. One of the things I want you to notice is that these last two questions are hidden, so they're not actually on the form. And the reason we put those in is we wanted to set a default value. We have a field in our ACT database called Source, and it lets us know where contacts come from. And so we put a default value in that field for VR demo request, so that way when anybody fills out that form, the value in that field is going to say VR demo request. When they get imported into our ACT database, it's going to say that in that field, so we're actually able to tell where these contacts come from once they get into our ACT database, which is really important from a marketing point of view. All right, let me go back to survey management real quick. All of this is editable. The logos, everything, the format, the title, the instructions, all of that you can edit right in here. But what I wanted to do now is show you a couple of things. Number one, this is a URL address. Once you create this survey, it becomes a URL address. You can use that on your website like we did back here on our regular website. And that's actually a link to that URL. You could also put that URL address on your LinkedIn page or on a Facebook page or anywhere you want. It's a URL address. So, hey man, the more the better. Put it all over the place. Anytime anybody clicks on that link and fills out that form, guess what? Their contact information is going to go into your database. That email is going to get sent to your sales department, and they're going to be able to call them. It's just an awesome way to market your business and sell your products. One of the other things I want to show you real quick is a different type of survey, and that's one where you actually have the records already in your ACT database, and you want to either update information that you have, contact information you have, or you're going to do some special event. In this case, we were doing some webinars back in October, and we sent out an email to some of our existing customers as well as prospective customers and said, hey, why don't you sign up for some of our webinars? And so that's what this is about. The contact information is down below, but up top they can select which date they wanted to go or wanted to see a webinar on or wanted to participate in a webinar. So they fill that out. That information gets fed back to our ACT database, which has been customized to accept that information. Again, customization is something you can do because this is the desktop version of ACT that we're hosting, and it's not ACT for Web. So customization is something that we can do, and we can actually track who signed up for webinars. We can pull that in. We can create top line dashes on it, which we've done here. and pull that information in. And so it's all about integrating all of this software together to make your company more efficient, more productive. And that's something that we help our customers with that host with us. And that's, again, something that sets us apart. None of your other hosting companies are going to get into this level with you and help you out with your business. Well, that pretty much wraps it up. By the way, and I mentioned this early on in the video, and I think it gets mentioned again at the end, everything that you're seeing here is accessible with an iPad. All of this screen that I'm on right now, you can utilize this screen just as well with an iPad as you can from the desktop. You can also go into Write, Sage eMarketing, and go into your surveys and apply those contacts right from an iPad. So if you're a business owner or a manager, and you're, let's say you're on a flight somewhere and you want to add a bunch of contacts to your ACT database that came in as a result of a survey, so the next morning when your staff comes in, they can do the necessary things that they need to do in order to market to those folks. You can do that on the plane, and guess what? They're going to see that information as soon as they get in the next morning, because again, this is all live data. It's not synchronized from remote locations. It's live. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got some useful information from it. Thanks again for taking a few minutes to watch this video from virtualroof.com. Keep in mind, everything that you saw in this video can be done from any of the devices on this screen. If you'd like more information about us, you can go to our website. You could also do a search for virtualroof.com on YouTube. You can send us an email at info@virtualroof.com, or you can call us at 866-932-2281.